Right, hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video updating my previous criminal law videos in such a long time, but I thought I might as well do one now, and what better way to revisit than to revisit murder. I did get a lot of comments last time, where's this? Anyways, I did get a lot of comments last time about my murder video, so I haven't had the time to revisit it, but I'm gonna revisit it now. So I've written out a way better answer that should help you guys. Hope so, at least. Anyways, there it is. This is going to be available in the description, so you can print this out and use it yourself. So let's get to it. We'll start off with what murder is. Subject to 3 exceptions: voluntary manslaughter. Murder is committed where a person of sound mind and discretion unlawfully kills any reasonable creature, i.e. a human being, who is alive, breathing through their own lungs, under the Queen's peace, se actus reus, and then the mens reus with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, and must be done with malice aforethought. So you could start it off like that if you want to. That's all the elements that you'd have to go through in a murder answer. So you'd start off by saying the actus reus of murder is the voluntary and unlawful act or omission that causes the death of a human being under the Queen's peace. That's by Sir Edward Coke. So then you'd apply that to the scenario. So X had stabbed Y, X had punched Y, X had ran over Y with a steamroller. Yeah, which resulted in him dying. Say how it was voluntary. So you go through each step. So voluntary because he drove into the he got into the steamroller, turned the ignition on, drove intentionally willing to kill him. Then you'd go and say, you could say a case as Hill v Baxter, to bold, and use that, say that in that case there was a swarm of bees and they attacked the driver while he was driving, but the act was held to be involuntary because he had no control over his actions. So, like, bring in some knowledge here. It's a great way to go about doing the actus reus as well. Next is the unlawful element. So you'd have to say that they were not in self-defense, so would not be classed as unlawful, whatever's in the scenario. Next is there has to be a death. So there was a death, and there has to be other human beings. So you use the case of AG Ref, Gen Ref, where it was held that there has to be existence independence of the mother. That's right. Apply that to the case, and it has to be under the Queen's peace. So that would be the actus reus. Then you'd go on to do causation. So it has to be causes death. So then you'd go and say the but-for test. So but for X having stabbed Y, ran Y over with a steamroller, Y would not have died. Cite the case of Y. Always say would not have died at the end of the but-for test. That's like a key to go about doing factual causation properly. Legal causation, apply the de minimis rules. Was it more than minimal act? Was it significant contribution? And was it substantial and operative? So just apply that, and that would be your first paragraph. That's the actus reus. Mens rea is the intent to kill or cause GBH and must be done with malice aforethought. That's cited in the case of Vickers. Explain the 2 types. So there's direct, whereby the defendant intended to kill the victim. There's indirect, which is where the defendant foresaw death as a virtual certainty and appreciated this. So just go about explaining what they are first. Then you cite the cases of Mohan and Woolen, and then whatever's in the scenario, just apply it to the facts and say, in this case, there was an intent to kill as he had wanted to kill him with the steamroller, or as he had a grudge against him, or whatever's in the scenario. And then you'd establish prima facie murder. After this, you'd have voluntary manslaughter, which is where the defense of diminished responsibility and loss of control can be raised. And that's voluntary, but hopefully this clarifies murder, and it's a nice little revisit. Maybe I'll do more of these, I'm not sure, but I hope this helps a lot more than the first one did, because like the third time I was doing the first one, it was when I was learning it, but I hope this helps. It's available, as I said, in the description below, and if it's helped, give it a like. See you guys.